and welcome to Chicago Reacts. My name is Lauren, and today I'm looking at a bricky video. It's been a while, and this is an old one. Excuse me, I need my tea. But, you know, it's been a minute since I've done a bricky video, so I think this will be fun for me. This one is the sheer exquisite shenanigans of Red Alert 3. Now, I've heard of Red Alert. That's where I'm at. That is as far as I've gotten with this. So, thanks for watching. Make sure you let me know what else to watch in the comments below. Let's begin.
I won't let you have the satisfaction of catching.
Oh, this!
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Oh man, yes, what a way to start out. Oh, that's what this is from? Okay. Okay, I know that clip. Okay, amazing.
Curry is going to space. In space, there is no capitalism. But particularly, if he's going to the moon, well, what else is not on the moon? Atmosphere. No atmosphere,
Nightlife.
no protection from the sun. Those rays are going to be blasting him like crazy. Radiation, new levels. And
Okay, actually, you know what? No, never mind. Okay, I'm an idiot. Okay, I was like, I was like, wait, is this a movie? No, okay, so it's from, that clip's from a movie. He just used it as a segue, which is a brilliant use of that clip.
It means he needs our sponsor today, Blender's Eyewear.
I'm so dumb.
Cringe, painful, my eyes squinty, radiation. Blender's Eyewear,
Radiation.
great, excellent, build quality, feel excellent, the look, not cringe. Sun diffused. Because Blender's Eyewear is a fantastic and affordable option for you to wear.
Affordable option? This is $89 for a pair of sunglasses. I mean, if it's... Okay, well, RX. Okay, so I mean, if it is prescription, then yeah, that is fairly affordable. Granted, not my prescription.
Where in case the sun ever gets a little uppity, they feel good. I love their colors. These ones are purple because purple is one of my favorite colors.
Purple's
Bricky
good
fact. Magenta is my favorite color.
Aw.
Purple is pretty up there. And right here,
Okay.
smooth.
I like purple.
No matter where I'm at,
And
the
magenta.
beach, the mall, outer space, or in my own home right here, these things have got me covered. The Blender's Eyewear feels great. I think they look great, and they come at an affordable cost with a variety of excellent styles, colors.
I will still say over $10 for a pair of sunglasses, if it's not prescription, feels a little rich for me. Because you forget them, you lose them, they disappear, you sit on them, they're in your car and you toss them into the back seat and then they're squished by a stroller or something. Like, personally, the only pair, nope, I've never paid more than like $5 for a pair of sunglasses, because a lot of the times you can get them for free too. Actually, that's a lie. I have paid like $12 for a pair of sunglasses. I've paid $12 for a pair of sunglasses. And they're cool too. They're round, they've got like the little like side blinders. Just saying. Just saying. My transition lenses cost me a lot of money, but that was, you know, again, my prescription's crazy. And they were, you know, prescription regular glasses.
And frames for you specifically. If you want to tell the sun it's cringe, you go to blenderseyewear.com and use code BrickyVIP for 15% off. Check the description now if you want to cop yourself some of their fantastic choices. And let's talk about Tim Curry.
Yay!
Buddy, my
Let's do
name
it.
is Bricky, currently doxing any and all allied players using cryocopters. So it seems my prior video on Kane's Wrath reached out into the void of YouTube and grabbed all of its players out of their geriatric homes to reminisce on the good times of that fantastic game. I had a whole lot of, I've never seen your content, Bricky, but Kane's Wrath was my shit. And god damn it, I'm glad we have that in common. So I'm nothing if not business oriented. So why not talk about another Command and Conquer game, the last decent one, and the last
Oh,
one before EA completely crushed its franchise, Command &
Alright.
Conquer Red Alert 3, that came out very quickly after Kane's Wrath. Red Alert 3, the final Red Alert game of the beloved Red Alert series of Command & Conquer, because there's a couple of variations of it,
Okay.
Generals,
That's
and
already
Wars,
information I
and
didn't
Red
know.
Alert. And the third game came out in 2009, and it came out right after Kane's Wrath, which I won't lie, gave me a little bit of whiplash. Red Alert 3 might be the polar opposite
it was so long
of the
ago.
Tiberium Wars games. While Tiberium Wars focused a bit more on macro, this game focused a lot more on micro. In Tiberium Wars, while it was still a little cheesy, it took its topic somewhat seriously. In Red Alert 3, it is all farce. It is-
Okay. Oh my God. I'm like, I've been going back and forth. It's like, because I had kind of thought that clip was from, like, in my brain, it was like a cut scene or from like a short, like a little movie. But okay, so okay. Drink every time Lauren's an idiot. Like, that's what we do here, right? So I was right the first time when I was like, oh my God, it's from this. And then he confused me. Okay.
all memes. While the characters and units sounded somewhat grounded in Tiberium Wars and Red Alert,
Kill them like watermelon.
it is a total
Kill
fucking
them like
parody.
watermelon.
However, that doesn't make it bad. It makes it
Parodies can be great.
specific. It dedicates
Okay.
itself to a particular audience. Those who prefer the micro gameplay, those who prefer the art style and the voice acting and the cheese. Red Alert 3 is a game that I don't believe many
That
people
could be
consider
fun.
to be nearly as good as 1 and 2, because while I did not play Red Alert 1 and 2, I do hear a lot of, it's not quite the same. But it is still a
it's number
classic
3,
source
so.
of fun over balance, fun over overall, well, function and health.
That's
And
okay.
That's not always a bad thing.
I think you
can't
need a
point
game or
at
two like
Modern
that.
Warfare 2, one of the most popular games ever, my childhood, and tell me, yeah, Bricky, that game was balanced. One of the best FPS
Sure.
games ever made, Titanfall 2, is an unbalanced mess. At least when you get really good at it, but it is still goddamn fun. And Red Alert 3?
Okay.
It's some goddamn fun.
That's
might
all I care
actually
about.
Be having too much fun. We'll talk about that in the campaign.
Nonsense.
Nixon was framed and Kennedy was a commie?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Disclaimer. Deals with Soviets, very evil, crazy Russians, Imperial Japan, all this kind of stuff. Russia, modern time, things going on right now in the world. It's not something I'm going to bring up. It's not something that actually matters in the context of this review.
Okay,
And this discussion of the game will be as if
Talking
it's not
just about the
happening.
game.
But I wanted to say it because we're all adults here, and I wanted to at least make it clear that, elephant in the room. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
Cool. Let's do
the
that.
Russians invent time travel. Soviet Union is on the brink of collapse, and Tim Curry and they decided to use their time machine to travel back to Brussels sprouts in 1927 and assassinate Albert Einstein. This
Oh,
changed
dang.
the course of history, as nuclear warfare was never invented, and then Tim Curry becomes the new prime minister or supreme prime minister, whatever, of the Soviet Union, and the Russians are about to control the entire Western world. They are on the brink of victory instead of collapse, thanks to their assassination of Albert Einstein. However,
Okay.
with no Albert Einstein means no nukes. And, well, no nukes means a certain other nation didn't have any setbacks. So a combination
Oh.
of technologically advanced, feudal, and imperial Japan, known as the Empire of the Rising Sun,
okay.
is now a massive force. They are technologically superior, have crazy new stuff coming around, and they believe that world domination is their
Oh my God, that's amazing. They just went and just looked up all of Rita What's-Her-Face's designs from Power Rangers, huh? And we're just like, but we're gonna do it.
divine destiny. And they have begun a three-way world war between the Soviets, the Allies, and the Empire of the Rising Sun. The plot
Right.
is just straight up shenanigans. The
Yeah.
entire thing is a vehicle for some of the dumbest dialogue ever written and some of the most school-level play acting you can get. It is riding
Good.
that thin line of hilarious and cringy and constantly falls on both sides all the time.
I mean, the first meme with Tim Curry where he couldn't even get through the line without laughing. And I'm like, was that the best take or did they just decide to stop after one?
They decided to populate the entire main cast with either A-list celebrities or supermodels. All the in-game commandos are
dang.
straight
Is that the
up
what's-her-face?
supermodels in this game. They are the stereotype of each one. The Allies have a double pistol-wielding blonde bombshell. The Soviets have the strong, tough sniper Dragunov Natasha commando. And the Japanese have a schoolgirl outfit, pigtails, angry, angsty young girl with psychic powers.
Okay.
And the cast, holy
Great.
fuck, the cast. You've got Tim Curry doing this Russian accent thing. You've got J.K. Simmons as the president
call
of
it
the
that.
United States. Jonathan Pryce is a field marshal. George Takei is the fucking emperor. Ric Flair is a goddamn commander. And David Hasselhoff is the vice president.
Oh my
And the
God.
shit
This is
they
amazing.
say.
We have altered the space-time continuum.
And now that we have a common enemy, Bullpucky.
I wasn't
I've
flirting,
seen
sir.
that one too.
I was just, you know, making conversation.
Our enemy was thrusting deeply into the motherland's tender nether regions.
Los Angeles is the hub of the Allied propaganda machine.
Freedom, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, apple pie. Did I say freedom? Well, it's worth saying again.
I will root out the enemy within.
You are made
He just
of
keeps almost laughing. I love it. Okay, I need to find all the cutscenes of this game.
stupid.
The sheer volume of A-list actors in this thing, in like the complete farce that it is. Like, you can tell none of them are taking it seriously. Tim Curry is consistently laughing at his voice lines. And those are the takes they kept. It's surreal. Like, J.K. Simmons is actually a Japanese robot spy that they infiltrated to become the president. And then Takei just like rips out some wires and J.K. Simmons has a fucking meltdown. The ending of the Allied campaign. One of the briefing ladies, I forget her name. I think it's Jenna Atkinson, whoever. And the supermodel commando both dressed up to take you out on a hot date tonight. That's the ending of the Allied campaign. Japanese campaign, same thing, but on a beach. And you know what's the best part about this?
Good.
It translates over to gameplay.
Oh my God, what? How?
It's just as silly with its style and its units. So a bit ago, there was a Mario game. I forget which one, right? And Mario had a sombrero. And then a whole bunch of pasty ass fucking college students that looked like me made a whole bunch of journal articles about why it's super fucking racist, you know, because they had nothing better to do with their time.
Yeah.
And then right after that, all of the fans from like Mexico and stuff of Mario were like, yo, that's fucking dope. That's a guy's sombrero. And it made them all look like total clowns. I feel like this game is that same test, just edgier. All of the factions are insane stereotypes. Everything.
Awesome.
The Allies, the Russians, and the Japanese. They are all...
Just George, he's just going like this with the brush, with the calligraphy. Oh, man. All right. This, you know, sometimes stereotypes are fun if everyone's in on the joke. This looks awesome. I do need to find a compilation of just like the cinematics from this.
Incredibly stereotypical, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in certainly an offensive way, but in a funny way. Red Alert 3 likes its stereotypes. It likes them a lot and it uses them everywhere. Like, I asked some Russian friends of mine about like what they thought about Red Alert 3 when it came out, that super evil Russian stereotype, and apparently it was generally well received. They call it Klukva. I'm pronouncing this very poorly, but just that super over-the-top evil Russian stereotype. And apparently it's kind of funny because Red Alert is absolutely that. The Soviets, which are my personal favorite of the three factions, have war bears. They have conscripts with AKs and Molotovs. They have gulag flak troopers.
I want a war bear.
Tank and the sickle walker. Their engineer is just, yeah.
I think that was my good lung.
The submarine sounds like it's gonna sink at basically any moment.
What's that dripping sound? Are these scanners working?
And oh, we can't forget about the Kirov airship.
Drop another load. Oh, yeah. Ah, that's nice.
The volume of like Soviet pride is so funny, but Their patriotism is actually kind of cool. The sheer patriotism in some of their units is really fun to listen to, particularly the Soviet Dreadnought, who just has some of the best voice lines.
Can you feel the Soviet might? Enemies of the Union shall burn.
And then you got the Apocalypse tank, who is the whole thing.
The apocalypse has begun. We will bury them.
Moving over,
it's like if
though,
Daleks
the
were
Empire
Russian.
of the Rising Sun is a combination of feudal Japan, Imperial Japan, and anime stereotypes. Units that go the anti-infantry route, where you have jets that kind of skim around, but then can turn into jets and fly around, or bipedal helicopters that fire missiles, enormous Oni mechs, and also tsunami tanks that literally scream the word cavalry. You've got like Naginata cruisers and Shogun battleships. The average Imperial warrior has a gun, but also a laser katana that he can charge you with. And for the anime part, you know, besides the Oni mechs and mecha, you also have like rocket angels and the commando. Also, you have the engineer, which, I mean, look at that walk cycle. Look at that run cycle. I actually like their style quite a lot. High-tech Japanese is a pretty common thing to do because it's a high-tech country.
It's like fun.
But also at the same time, I like the combination of throwing it with Imperial Japan and having that Imperial Japanese nature to them. The zealotism they have in their divine right for world domination is very cool, but they also have this sort of professionalism. Certain units, particularly the Shogun battleship and the Wave Force artillery, one of my favorites, have this just very like calm, strong demeanor about them.
The day of the Shogun has arrived. They will soon bow to our flag.
We will take them by force. The shogunate will be pleased.
And then you contrast
that is pretty
with things
chill.
like the Mecha Tengu and the Commando and Rocket Angels, and it becomes really fun. It's a nice hybrid. Fuck, man. The Commando's special ability literally creates the Imperial flag. Like, what else could you ask for? As far as the allies go, they themselves look a bit more generic. However, they are basically every single Western stereotype, and not just America, but also like British area combined. The sheer volume of nationalities is actually what's pretty cool about it. You've got your pretty standard like white peacekeeper cop kind of guy with the peacekeeper, the riot shield, and the shotgun. Your javelin troopers are all basically football players, literally saying lines like football players.
Sack them, blitz them. Here comes the Hail Mary.
The engineer is a complete fucking dweeb.
Excelsior, piece of pie.
Oh no.
His jet ski, as well as the funniest thing ever. They've got
look at
a
his little jet ski.
Bond-style spy that can bribe people to turn traitor. Guardian tanks and multi-gunners are by far the most evil of them all. Like British.
Hey, mate.
Oh no.
Cheesed off. Eat a tick.
Mirage tanks are incredibly French.
Aha! C'était fatal.
Hydrofoils are Jamaican.
Take their guns away.
Sure.
The big satellite laser truck is just a call center lady.
I feel like this is like a great way to just like, we got Russian stereotypes, Japanese stereotypes, and now let's just do everybody else.
Anything else I can do for you? One moment, sir.
Sentry bombers have that deep southern accent.
No more belly aching from them.
And aircraft carriers are there to blow your ears out.
Aircraft carrier leaving port. Tall and proud.
In fact, there's actually a comment on my Kane's Wrath video that I think describes this a lot better than I can. I can't stress enough how important voice acting is in an RTS. You're going to be hearing the same voice clips hundreds of thousands of times, and the best ones are iconic and never leave your head. It's a great way to put it. When you're building stuff and clicking things and ordering people around, you're going to be hearing those voice lines again and again and again and again and again, and they need to be good or else they're going to be so tiring. Keeping those sound effects up, keeping that voice acting solid is paramount, and it's something that, despite the silliness, they do incredibly well in this game.
I love that like there's some credit given to not only the voice actors but like the sound design too, because I feel like sound design is so important in everything, but it just gets like left by the wayside so often, and it is so crucial. Like these days, I have to have like if I'm watching a movie or a TV show or something, I like have to have the subtitles on because the sound mixing has gotten so bad. Like I can't hear anything, and it's just bad mixing these days. So sometimes some people still do it correctly, or like balance it, but it's rough. And then like you get movies that win freaking Oscars or whatever. And the sound design is so bad in them. I was like, I found it unwatchable. I'm talking specifically about La La Land right now, but like, it's like, golly. So I'm really glad that he's brought some attention to, and voice acting in video games and stuff too is also, again, is very important. And like the sound design of video games is really important. One of my biggest gripes with BioShock is that you hear you hear your enemies coming, like, or you hear them all around you, but you don't hear them coming. You have no idea what direction they're coming from. And I feel like games like, I think The Last of Us was actually really good about, you knew which direction your enemy was going to be approaching from. And I just appreciate that. You know, it just makes things better, in my opinion. And then it's a game like this where it's like, it doesn't really matter the directions of stuff, but you want to feel immersed, you want to feel grounded, and you don't want to have like, you don't want it to be unbalanced. So I'm glad that he brought it up.
This actually might be the reason why I enjoy Red Alert 3 so much, despite it being entirely inferior to Kane's Wrath. See, Red Alert's gameplay is actually the part I have the biggest problem with. There's a lot of things they did to the game that I either don't like on a personal level or simply feel like it's just not well balanced. For example, like harvesting your resources is massively cut down compared to Command & Conquer Kane's Wrath, where you have multiple refineries and multiple harvesters. You literally just place a refinery there and they just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which makes it really, really easy,
but boring,
but also more punishing. If you get rushed in Kane's Wrath, you have your base defenses, you have all your things you can make, and you can try to defend your harvesters. And they might kill 1 or 2 harvesters, but it doesn't kill your economy. In Red Alert, that's like your only harvester per field, and you only start with 2 right next to you. So a common strat, the Vindicator bombers on the Allies, fucking pricks, will just go over there and kill them. And now you're not getting any money until you build a new one. And I don't know how much you've been spending. That could really be a detriment. You've only got 2 harvesters. What if they kill both? How much shit do you have to sell in order to get more? Like, there's no skill in actually harvesting, and there's very little skill needed to get rid of the harvesters. Soviet terror drones are a nightmare when it comes to that crap. Also, the game forgoes any and all upgrades. There are no upgrades to buy. No railguns or blue purifying flame, nothing like that. And all of your special like side abilities come from a tech tree that you need to pick around on the bottom left corner of the screen. And some of those are just flat out better than others. So some of those tech tree ability things are kind of cool. You got like the chrono shift from the Allies, or the toxic bomb from the Soviets, or the actual zero plane kamikaze for the Imperial Japan. But you know, they're interesting, but they're not quite the same, and they don't offer as much utility and intrigue as they do in Kane's Wrath. But the game also has become more micro heavy. Every single unit they decide to give a special ability, and some of these abilities range from we had to pick something to absolutely ridiculous. Like harvesters, for example. The Allies one allows them to go ahead and move their base. It's an outpost ability, whereas the Soviet one gives it a big shell to make it tankier, and the Empire one that turns around, stops harvesting, has a little gun on the top. The Imperial Warriors put their guns away and charge it with their laser katana. The conscripts take their AKs down and throw Molotovs. Hydrofoils swap from their anti-air gun to a gun that stops the enemy units from firing at all, like a jammer, which is really aggravating. The Apocalypse,
I bet, but it must be really cool to use that one, but like to have it used against you. Ooh.
Pulls them in and shreds them down. Everything has an ability. The thing is that makes it a hell of a lot more micro heavy, which I'm less of a fan of. I do feel like in Red Alert, once your opponent gets rid of your major fighting force, you're kind of done. There's
I also have a question, like real quick, because how in games like this do the cutscenes and the gameplay mesh? Like, how do they interact with each other? I like, that's what I've always wondered about, like games like this, which I know have a story to them, but like I've never played a game like this because for a plethora of reasons. But like, how does it mix and match together? Like, is it seamless or is it clunky? Is it like you beat a level and then you get a little bit of story to it? Or is it like interspersed throughout? I would like to know. And is it always the same, like depending on which category, like which person you're playing, like which faction you're playing, or it's like, do you get more ally stuff if you're an ally and more Russian stuff if you're playing the Soviet Union, and then like maybe you get a couple that are the same but a few that are different. I would like to know.
A lot of comebacks in Kane's Wrath, and I think it has to do with the speed of the game and the map size. Red Alert maps feel really small,
It's
but
like a
things are
chicken.
still decently quick. In Kane's
Why is
Wrath,
there
the maps are
chickens
way
on it?
bigger and things aren't decently quick. So still
Like, look, in this, on the corner there, I can't get all the way over there, but like, it looks like a little chicken. You look like a little chicken guy. Right? I'm not crazy. And then down here, like, there's got a chicken up at the top of the map, and then like an angry half lobster face at the bottom of the map. I don't know.
they're still decently quick. In Kane's Wrath, the maps are way bigger and things aren't decently quick, so there's still lots of time to recover. I have many a times just been rushed by twin blades, and that was my death. That was it. It was over. I have been rushed by dolphins that can't allow me to go anywhere in the sea. The Japanese mechatangus just
dolphins?
destroy everything I know and love. The Vindicators on the Allies. There are many times where I feel like my games are ending incredibly quick. Terror drone spam from the Soviets. The games just don't feel like they can turn around as quickly. So at the end of the day, you've got a streamlined system where there are no upgrades. Your powers are all in a tier system, and everything is more micro heavy instead of macro. That could be how Red Alert's always been, and if that's the case, then I mean, totally fine, but that's not for me. I like Kane's Wrath a lot for all the opposite reasons of what I just said. Red Alert for me is completely held up by its great voice acting and also very good visuals. Look at the water effects in this game. It came out in
That is
2009.
pretty good.
The lighting effects, especially the amount of color, is something it does really well. And also, oh my god, the soundtrack. I didn't even mention the soundtrack. Get them on.
Oh, yay. He did mention sound design, so I assumed soundtrack was part of that. Spanish. This
I
is
remember asking my
pretty
chat
good.
which faction is the strongest in Red Alert comparatively to everything else, and they all unanimously said the Allies. And it kind of made me confused for a while why the Allies. Like, I know Peacekeepers are strong, I know that the Vindicator spam is pretty good, but like, why specifically the Allies? And they all said cryocopters. And I watched some pro games, and yeah, cryocopters are dumb. They run up to something, freeze it, and then said thing can basically be one-shot by anything
Oh my
in the
God.
game,
Wow.
no matter what, and it can't fight back. Does not matter the size. It also has a shrink ray, which makes said thing incredibly tiny, do almost no damage, and be like triple as weak. It is infuriating what I have watched with allied cryocopters. The allies look so overpowered. Their aircraft carriers are also insane.
I guess they are the good
Assault
guys,
destroyers,
right?
when
They have
used
to win.
properly, can be kind of nuts. Oh, just Peacekeeper spam, weirdly enough, seems really good. Their Apollo fighters just fuck. And it's not to say that everything else doesn't have some good stuff. Mechatangus are pretty good. Those actually Wayforce artillery can be pretty nuts too. And the Empire has the best naval combat by far. Soviets terror drones are really scary. Twin blades are good. Kirovs are still good. But even so, like the Allies, they seem a bit overtuned. And there could be mods and stuff to make this a little bit better. I haven't actually seen any personally, but I don't know if I would be able to, because you can't really play multiplayer in this game. Yeah, it's like broken or down or something. You need to download mods or something to even play multiplayer, because EA, what's that? We put out a product and it's not working. Well, why? It's too bad too, because I know there's a lot of people who don't like this game. They're just not a fan of this Red Alert, but I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's good for a couple of rounds of enjoying myself and being kind of silly and different and interesting. It's nowhere near as good as Kane's Wrath to me, but
I still want to
also
know
don't like
about
some of
the
changes in there.
story.
So, you know, it could be a personal preference. Overall though, despite everything there, it does still feel like that era before the loot boxes, before the just make our money back era, where despite it being EA and despite all their dumbassery, it is a game that was made with with care. It's dumb, it's cheesy, it's stupid, but it's meant to be, and it's fun for that.
That's always fun.
Over balance to a T. And honestly, I'm really sad it's the last real Command and Conquer game. It is the one that put it in, well, it's not the one that put it in its grave, but it is the one right before it went to a grave. It was its final hurrah, and it's not the best, but it's better than what they've been making. So, yeah.
Good to know.
Number 3, Tim Curry looking at ass, Vine boom sound effect.
Bird up.
Thank you all for watching this video. It was a pleasure having you all here.
Thanks, Bricky.
Some merch. I have some new ones. I have a new shirt that I entirely based around Outer Wilds, one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's really solid and distinct enough, and I just love it. You can check that out. And also, I have an Elden Ring one, and it says "Got Grace." It's in hoodies, black and white, as well as shirts, black and white.
Oh my God, it would be so funny if like some Christian grandma got that for their kid, and the kid's like, yeah. Sorry. It's my Christian grandma always is trying to get like me stuff with like Bible verses and stuff on it, which, sorry, grandma, they go right to the donation bin. But that would be funny though. It's like you get a "Got Grace," it says that, and you think it's about Jesus. It's not.
Check those out in the description, orchid8.com. And I have some questions. All right, I got 2 questions. Have I heard of the subreddit Armored Women? No, but I'm fucking gonna. What makes you huff the most copium? Honestly, the Kane's Wrath stuff. Kane's Wrath and the Death of Command and Conquer, that's some big fucking copium. That is cope to the max. What is an intellectual turnoff for you when listening to someone explain something? E.g., when someone portrays an opposing view with the most mocking voice they can come up with, it always turns me off for whatever else they have to say. Oh, yeah. Often when I talk about something and there's an argument against it where I say, oh, Red Alert 3 is very micro heavy, and then I'll say something like, you know, micro heavy is certainly a thing for most people. A lot of people find that to be more skillful, but I personally think that the macro takes a little bit more effort. Someone else would rephrase that as, oh, but what about the macro level? You know, this micro, I want to micro this stuff. It's like, shut up. That particularly bugs the hell out of me when they do that kind of voice. I do it sometimes, but normally it's against an argument.
Okay, so he just took the exact same like annoyance thing there. It's like, yeah, the voice is annoying. I can see that. I can see the voice being something frustrating. I just don't like it when somebody is explaining something in a way, in like a super patronizing way. Like, I didn't ask you to explain it like I was 5 years old. And if you did explain this to me like I was 5 years old, when I was 5 years old, I would still be annoyed. Like, that was one thing that, like, even when I was a kid, like a child, and like we had to go and see like little church plays, or if like you have the storyteller or whoever who comes to the school and they're like, well, hello there, good to see you. I hated that. Like as a young child, I despised that. So I think that would be the tone of voice that gets me. Like, don't talk down to me. If I don't understand, I'll tell you that there's something in there that I don't get, but don't like that sickly sweet syrupy, like, oh my gosh, I didn't see you there. Like, don't do that. That I hate.
That's
and I hated it as a child.
Really dumb. But when people do that a shitload and they constantly use a mocking tone to anyone that is against them, absolutely. That's something that bugs the hell out of me. I also hate for my need to say in my opinion or to me a lot.
Allegedly.
Videos. Super often whenever I am trying to express something, I have to say, in my opinion, I don't really like it, or it didn't really do it for me. Because if I say, I don't think it's good, or I think this is a bad decision, that makes it more definitive and people will get more angry.
Well, you still said, I think it's a bad decision. It's still on you, right? I mean, granted, this is YouTube. The literacy, the media literacy is kind of limited over here. And honestly, on the internet in general. People don't, there's very little media literacy anymore. We're not learning how to think critically or something. Like, people just take everything super personal.
Because I am hard disagreeing as opposed to saying I don't like it. That's like that weird fine line of reviewing something, saying I don't like it and it's bad it's hard to differentiate the two of them, because everything is subjective, so you never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you
I
all
feel
so
like
much for watching.
you're the
March
one
was a
saying it.
really busy month.
It should be
But
obvious.
I had a good time with it all.
And March was a busy
hopefully
month.
I will see you for some new videos soon. The second channel also has an Elden Ring playthrough going up, and thanks for supporting me. Bye.
Okay. All right. That was fun. That was interesting. And I was like, I know that I was foolish at the beginning. So y'all can go ahead and tell me how dumb I am at the beginning. It's like, no, it was from this. You're stupid. That's fine. I got a little turned around, and then he used it as like the going into a ad, and I was like, wait a minute, I thought he just maybe used it as the meme. But now I know for sure. It's from Red Alert 3. It's from a video game, which wasn't shocking. So I think I knew that somewhere in my head, but like then I got really confused. So anyway, all right. Those do seem very fun. And I do want to know that thing I asked about, how well are those voice or the live action stuff, how well is that incorporated into the game? Because it seemed like maybe sometimes you get the little talking head on the top of your screen, but again, I don't know, do you see all of them or do you see just the bit of the faction you're in? So please tell me. And I kind of want to see a compilation of everything now. It's probably like a really long one, but that could be fun. So thanks again for watching. And don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. All of those things really do help. Hit the little bell notification. That way you'll know that when we're posting new stuff. We post new stuff every day, but I feel like we're not getting shown places anymore. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.